Hello guys, and welcome to my best FIFA 18 Pro Club striker build. Keep in mind this is for pretty much a maxed player. I have about 443 games played. I have 110 skill points in. Everything else that comes after this is pretty much just playing more games. So for the most part, this is pretty much all you can handle and manage before you go and play the max amount of games to get to whatever 93 overall, etc. So first we'll look at the play style. Of course, my position is striker, and my height is 6 foot, weight 149. I understand a lot of people like to go smaller for the increase in agility, which is really helpful against the CPU any and user any's alike. And I know people like to go taller because of the kind of hidden stat that heading becomes better on a taller character. However, I think 149 is pretty set. Once you start changing it, you can see pace kind of changes. Obviously, there's just a small increment, but get the idea. Preferred foot, this is really up to you. This is subjective. I prefer being right-footed because I usually play right striker, which means I can go for the far post shot. Meanwhile, if you were playing the left striker, you might want to be left-footed to do the same. Okay, so stamina is another one of those stats where you can really go all out or even take less than this. Personally, I prefer having this amount of stamina because I usually play some defense. So obviously, if I want to get back, it's really important that I have some more stamina so I can go on the attack. That being said, I think second wind is a trait everyone really should have, because once it's the 75th minute and you get that boost, it could really be a game changer in the last few minutes. Strength, I think strength is really important, so I think it's worth maxing out even if you only get up to 73, because a lot of times you can, with the combination of pace, you can really shake off defenders enough to get for your teammates to get open. Defending is not worth upgrading. I mean, it's not going to do anything. Your stats are already low enough. There's not really a point upgrading them. Dribbling, I have every stat except for the skill moves and flare trait. I think the flare trait is something that is more for show. It doesn't really benefit you playing wise. Obviously, it'd be cool to pull off a Rabona cross every once in a while, but that being said, those 2 points could go into something much more useful. So I have everything. I have all agilities, all dribblings, I have the ball control. So yeah. In passing, this is once again where I said I disagree with a lot of people. I think maxing out the short passing tree, even getting swerve pass, is beneficial, because if your other players are making runs down the wing, that swerve pass can really help the ball get around them and in front of them, because I know the CPU any can intersect that pass a lot. Curves also worth upgrading for finesse shots. I do have the finesse shot trait I'll discuss later, and I think curve does benefit. Here, I obviously just get the one long passing to get the curve bonus, and I don't touch crossing because I think crossing is another one of those stats where you don't need to have high crossing. You just need to have someone who can head in the middle. So shooting, obviously this is the most important, probably the second most important tree, and as you can see I max out the 2 left columns. Power header is a trait that I've had a love-hate relationship with, and I have to say I think in the end it's a very good trait to have, because a lot of times your player can pull out a header that's just unbelievable, and he can really score goals, especially in the early divisions on corner kicks. 5-star weak foot is one of the most important things in pro clubs, in FIFA in general. The ability to do everything on both feet is something that should not go unrecognized, and it really puts you in a position where you can score from anywhere inside the box. Volleys are also worth upgrading. Every once in a while you get an occasional volley off a cross, and heading accuracy goes with the power header. Obviously finishing, super important. Shot power, less important than finishing. Long shots, more important than shot power, but less important than finishing. And you just want to get that 5-star weak foot. Pace, obviously you have to max this out. This is a must. I've already gone over this. Goalkeeping, I'm not even going to touch. You're dumb if you do. So yeah, that's pretty much my preferred striker build. I know people like to play around. They like to make their player taller so they can head better, make them smaller for better agility, but I think this is just a good baseline to go off of for playing pretty much divisions 10 to 3 to 2. Around there, I mean, a lot of time you're not really going to come up against full squads or anything, so you're not really going to need to be a maestro dribbling or anything, and if you play on a good team, this build would be more than enough to get you pretty high up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see my stats here. I did play a few games at CDM, others positions, kind of mess around every once in a while. So obviously it's like almost a goalie game, and in terms of goals and assist goal contributions, it is higher than my matches played. And it's definitely important to get a high match rating. If you get a high 7, low 8, it will definitely help boost, get you those skill points as soon as possible, so you can start, capping out stats and just playing games to get them up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, thank you for watching.